Hello everyone, my name is Kai Steffany-alo. My presentation today is about Tongan American identity. I chose this topic because I am Samoan, but I grew up around Tongan culture. That made me interested in how people can maintain their culture while still growing up in the United States. I'll talk about family, language, culture, and identity. Tongan American identity can be shaped by family, culture, language, religion, and community. These things can be passed down even when families live outside of Tonga. Helen Lee and Hafoka both show how cultural experiences can be shaped the way people understand their identity. Family and community. Family and community are important parts of Tongan identity. Families can teach younger generations traditions, respect, and cultural values. Vakalahi and other researchers have shown how family helps keep Samoan and Tongan culture alive. This quote here is very important. It's very important to keep our language alive. See, I chose this quote because it shows how language can help families stay connected across generations. Language is more than communication. See, it can carry cultural knowledge from one generation to another. Vakalahi and the other researchers explain that indigenous language can help strengthen family and cultural connections. I decided to bring this quote back down to this slide as well because it just shows how language can persevere through generations and be preserved. Learning Tongan culture. See, this quote, learn the Tongan life, is very important because Helen Lee's research looks at young people who were born overseas and went to high school in Tonga. They had to learn things such as the language, the family relationships, the values, and the traditions. I chose this quote because it shows that culture identity can be learned through experience, not just something you read in a book. Balancing two cultures. Tongan Americans experience both Tongan and American cultures. They may learn Tongan traditions at home while still experiencing American culture at school in everyday life. That doesn't mean they have to choose one culture. This can also just mean learning to balance both. This quote I got from Helen Lee is, "We're all the same, we are Tongans." I chose this quote because it explains how Tongan Americans can live with both parts of their identity, no matter where you're at. Challenges to identity. Maintaining a cultural identity can also be difficult. See, Helen Lee expresses and shows that some overseas born youth are expected to understand Tongan culture even when they haven't even been taught anything or everything. This quote here. I chose this quote because it's just so short, but it explains so much. I think they think we know, but we don't. I chose this quote because it shows the pressure young people can feel when others expect them to already understand their culture. See, the quote came from a 16-year-old girl who was brought back to Tonga to learn the culture, and she was feeling so much pressure just because she didn't know. Tongan American identity. Hafakai explains how Tongan Americans can develop an identity that connects their Tongan culture with their experiences in the United States. See, each generation may experience Tongan culture differently, but they can still maintain important connection to Tonga. See, this quote here is very important. I chose this quote because it connects directly to my topic. Learned to navigate and live in both worlds, their cultural world and that of their new homeland in the United States. This just shows how Tongan Americans can identify as both cultures. Why cultural connection matters. Cultural connection matters because it helps traditions stay alive. Family, language, and community can connect younger generations to older generations. This is why maintaining cultural practices is important, even when people live far away from Tonga. Again, I brought this quote up. It is very important to keep our language because language has been brought through generations all over the world. And it is important to learn where you are coming from and why it matters to you because it shapes your life and who you are. Why does this topic even matter to me? See, I am a Samoan. I grew up around Tongan culture all my life. Being around Tongan people and traditions helped me understand how much more family and community can shape your identity. It also showed me that Pacific Islander cultures can be different while still having the connection with each other. In conclusion, Tongan American identity is shaped by family, community, language, traditions, and life between cultures, with also having connection to Tonga. Tongan American identity is just connected through all generations. Helen Lee helped me understand cultural learning. Falahake helped me understand family language, and Hafoka helped me understand Tongan American identity. As a Samoan who grew up around Tongan culture, this research helped me understand how culture can stay connected across generations. Thank you so much, and here are my sources.